Welcome to the Past Shutter channel, where we explore rare historical photos and the stories behind them. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this one. Did she deserve her fate? Captured in 1889, this haunting image shows the final moments of a notorious female outlaw known as the Bandit Queen. She led a gang of male outlaws, robbing banks and ambushing lawmen. Unlike male outlaws, she was not given the chance to fall in a gunfight. She was publicly executed. The photo was banned due to its graphic nature. Ever wondered what brothels looked like behind closed doors? A forbidden image reveals the lavish yet dangerous world of a Wild West bordello. Silk-clad women lounge on velvet sofas, flirting with wealthy cattle barons, while a bouncer grips a shotgun by the door. This wasn't just a place of pleasure. It was a battleground of crime, addiction, and exploitation. Authorities seized and destroyed most copies, deeming it too indecent for public record. What does the end of a struggle look like? This powerful photograph captures the final moments of the Sioux resistance at Wounded Knee. Often omitted from mainstream historical accounts, the image depicts the tragic consequences of U.S. military intervention and the devastating impact on Native American communities, serving as a somber reminder of their fight for survival and dignity. What happens when a daring plan goes horribly wrong? Captured during the infamous Dalton Gang's attempted bank robbery in Coffeyville, Kansas, this photo shows the chaos that ensued. 4 gang members met their end, and the town erupted in violence, once suppressed. This image highlights the lawlessness of the Wild West and the perils faced by outlaws. How ruthless was the real Wild West? A gruesome image from Tombstone, Arizona, captures a bounty hunter displaying a collection of Apache scalps. Some are freshly taken, others dried and preserved. This brutal practice, rewarded by government bounties, was once common but later erased from history as the U.S. tried to cover its violent past. The photo was banned as it revealed a side of the West too brutal for school books. Was the Wild West really a land of honor? A cowboy stands over his fallen horse after whipping it to death in a race near Dodge City. Instead of stopping the cruelty, onlookers placed bets on whether the animal would rise again. The harsh life of the frontier extended even to its beasts, but history books omitted such stories, choosing to paint cowboys as noble heroes rather than ruthless men with little regard for life. This poignant photograph reveals the harsh conditions faced by Chinese laborers building the Transcontinental Railroad. Frequently excluded from historical narratives, the image highlights the discrimination and danger these workers endured. It underscores the essential role they played in shaping the American West, often overlooked in favor of more romanticized stories. Why was this deadly duel erased from history? A rare, real image of a Wild West duel captures the instant before 2 men drew their pistols. One, an infamous gambler, the other, a vengeful rancher. Taken in Dodge City, the photo was deemed too violent for publication. It disappeared after city officials ordered its destruction, fearing it would glorify lawlessness. Did miners disappear because of greed or something darker? This eerie 1879 image shows a group of men outside the infamous Lost Dutchman's mine in Arizona. Days later, all were found dead, some from gunshots, others mysteriously missing. Rumors of a curse spread, and the image was banned from newspapers to prevent further hysteria. The mine's location remains unknown. Did this brutal event spark the end of frontier justice? A shocking 1885 photograph captures a vigilante lynching in Texas. The image shows masked men surrounding a tree where a rustler hangs without life. It was quickly banned from newspapers as officials tried to distance themselves from extrajudicial actions. The event later led to reforms in law enforcement. Why was this battle photo kept secret for decades? Captured in 1886, this rare photograph shows Apache warriors making their final stand against the U.S. cavalry in the Arizona desert. The warriors, armed with bows and rifles, fought until their last breath. The image was confiscated and hidden to downplay Native resistance. It only resurfaced decades later. Did Jesse James fake his own demise? This banned 1890 image shows an unmarked wooden coffin, said to contain the infamous outlaw Jesse James. A few masked men stand solemnly around it. Some believe Jesse never met his end, and that this staged funeral was part of a grand deception. The truth remains buried with him. Why did an entire town vanish overnight? This eerie 1895 image shows the abandoned town of St. Elmo, Colorado. Horses remained tied to posts, meals left on tables, yet every person had disappeared. The chilling mystery led to ghost stories, and the government banned the photo to prevent mass panic. What secrets lay beneath the Wild West saloons? A forbidden 1877 photograph reveals an underground casino hidden beneath a saloon in San Francisco. Candles flicker over stacks of gold coins as elite gamblers, dressed in fine suits, play faro and poker. Guards with rifles watch the doors. Authorities banned the image to conceal ties between lawmen and illegal gambling rings. What happens when a poker game turns deadly? Captured in 1876, this rare photo shows the aftermath of a saloon shootout in Deadwood. A poker game dispute turned violent, leaving 2 gamblers dead on the floor while others fled. The sheriff banned the photo, fearing it would attract more outlaws eager to prove themselves in the lawless town. Did this outlaw know it was his final moment? Taken in 1873, this eerie photograph shows a cowboy calmly drinking whiskey at a saloon bar just minutes before being gunned down. His assailant, waiting in the shadows, isn't visible in the photo. The image was banned for its unsettling depiction of fate and tragedy in the Wild West. What happened to the stolen gold? This 1888 image captures a group of masked bandits escaping a train robbery, saddlebags overflowing with stolen gold. The Pinkerton detectives quickly confiscated the photo, as they didn't want the public to know how often lawmen failed to stop such heists. The gold was never recovered. Was Buffalo Bill's show hiding the truth? Captured in 1895, this photo reveals Native American performers in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show practicing real combat techniques, not just staged fights. The government banned the image, fearing it would encourage Native resistance against federal control. Was it a divine curse or human hatred? This haunting 1884 photograph captures the remains of a burned-down church in New Mexico. Rumors spread that outlaws set the fire in revenge for a priest who had tipped off lawmen about their hideout. The church bell, twisted from the heat, was the only thing left standing. The photo was banned to avoid religious controversy. What stories did the walls of the Table Bluff Hotel hold? This historic photograph captures the grandeur of the hotel, a vital hub for travelers and locals in 1889 California. However, this image was often banned from public view due to its depiction of a diverse clientele, including notable figures from various backgrounds. At the time, society was grappling with issues of racial segregation and class disparity, and images that showcased inclusivity clashed with prevailing norms. Did greed lead to their downfall? This banned 1893 photo captures the bodies of outlaws lying beside a dynamited train safe. The robbers miscalculated the blast, tragically ending their lives in the process. Authorities destroyed the image to prevent copycats from attempting similar robberies. Did Confederate cowboys continue their fight in the Wild West? This rare 1866 photograph shows Confederate soldiers turned cowboys, still wearing parts of their gray uniforms, hiding in the mountains of Arizona. The government banned the image to suppress rumors of rebel fighters refusing to surrender after the Civil War. Could a woman outshoot the law? This shocking 1875 image shows Belle Donovan, one of the most dangerous female outlaws, standing over 3 fallen lawmen. Trained by her outlaw father, she was a master of disguise and an expert sharpshooter. When cornered, she fought to her last breath. The image was banned as it challenged the idea that women were weak and defenseless. Would you dare face justice in the Wild West? A lost photo from Deadwood reveals the chilling sight of a public hanging. A desperate outlaw stands on the gallows, noose tight around his neck, as townsfolk, including children, watch without flinching. The West's brutal law was swift, often without fair trials. The image was erased from history books, as officials feared it exposed the harsh reality of frontier justice. Who was hunting who? This rare 1883 photograph was banned for its brutal content. It depicts a female, Native American warrior who turned the tables on a bounty hunter sent to capture her. She fought back, leaving him lifeless and scalping him as a warning to others. The government hid the photo to prevent fear among bounty hunters. What happens when 2 women settle a score the cowboy way? This rare 1895 photo captures something almost unheard of, a gunfight between 2 women. One was a ranch owner, the other, a cattle thief. Instead of involving men, they handled it themselves. The image was banned as it encouraged women to challenge authority. What happens when a woman is cheated out of gold? This 1886 banned photo shows a female gold prospector who was cheated out of her claim. Instead of walking away, she ambushed the men who took her gold, reclaiming it at gunpoint. Authorities destroyed the image to discourage women from fighting back. Did she escape the law forever? This banned 1901 image captures a female outlaw boarding a train in disguise, moments before she vanished forever. She had robbed a wealthy banker and was never seen again. Lawmen erased her from history to cover up their failure. What secrets lie behind the enigmatic figure of Billy the Kid? This haunting photograph, believed to be one of the few authentic images of the infamous outlaw, captures the essence of a legend who became synonymous with the Wild West. However, this image has been shrouded in controversy and intrigue, often banned from mainstream history due to its association with violence and lawlessness. As a notorious gunslinger and fugitive, Billy the Kid's life was marked by a series of daring escapades and confrontations with the law, leading to his mythic status. Was he a hero or an outlaw? This banned 1890 photo captures Bass Reeves, a former slave turned legendary lawman, moments before single-handedly arresting an entire gang in Texas. The government erased many photos of black cowboys to suppress their role in the West. What emotions surged through this haunting image? This 1900 photograph, long banned and shrouded in controversy, captures a pivotal moment in American history. The last known Apache war chief standing resolutely over the fallen U.S. cavalry soldiers after a fierce battle in Arizona. This photograph serves as a stark reminder of the sacrifices made and the fierce resistance displayed by native tribes during a tumultuous period of American expansion. Did they get away with the loot? This lost photograph from 1887 captures the aftermath of a botched train robbery, with flames engulfing the locomotive and billowing smoke rising into the sky. The scene, a testament to a daring heist gone awry, reveals the moment when a gang of outlaws miscalculated their use of dynamite, resulting in the catastrophic explosion of the train's safe and their own getaway plan. The photograph serves not only as a visual record of this dramatic event, but also as a chilling reminder of the perils of criminal endeavors. The photograph of Annie Oakley shooting a gun was banned due to its challenge to traditional gender norms, as it depicted a woman excelling in a male-dominated field, which made some authorities uncomfortable. Additionally, the image was seen as potentially glorifying violence during a time of rising gun-related incidents, prompting concerns about its influence on public behavior. Banning the photograph reflected societal tensions regarding women's roles, gun culture, and the desire to promote more conservative values in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The photograph of Geronimo, the famed Chiricahua Apache leader, kneeling with a rifle, was banned due to its potent symbolism of resistance and defiance against U.S. expansion. Capturing a moment of Native American strength, the image challenged prevailing narratives that sought to marginalize indigenous peoples. Authorities feared that such a powerful portrayal could inspire unrest among other tribes and sympathizers, undermining their control over a narrative that painted Native Americans as defeated. The photograph of Chinese railroad workers on a wood train at Bloomer Cut in California, circa 1860-1870, was banned due to its challenge to the dominant narratives of American progress and labor. This image highlighted the crucial role that Chinese immigrants played in the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad, countering the often overlooked contributions of marginalized groups. Authorities feared that showcasing these workers could incite labor movements or ethnic solidarity, undermining the prevailing racial stereotypes that depicted Chinese laborers as inferior. The photograph of the execution of a soldier from the 8th Infantry in Prescott, Arizona, taken in 1877, was banned due to its graphic depiction of violence and state-sanctioned death. This image confronted viewers with the brutal realities of military justice and the consequences of conflict during a tumultuous period in American history. Authorities sought to suppress such images to maintain a more sanitized narrative of the military and its operations, fearing that it could provoke public outrage or dissent regarding military practices. The photograph of faro game in full blast at Orient Saloon in Bisbee, Arizona. Many saloons in the West were not just bars, they also provided places for gambling and prostitution. As saloons began to grow in popularity, a particular saloon culture developed in which saloons provided a gathering space for playing games, singing songs, and political organization. Banning the photograph reflected broader societal efforts to suppress vice and maintain a facade of respectability in the rapidly developing frontier towns of the American West. Blackjack Ketchum gets fitted with a new necktie. Tom Blackjack Ketchum was a cowboy who became a train robber in the American West. He joined the hole-in-the-wall gang that engaged in train robberies. He was convicted of attempted train robbery and sentenced to death by hanging. He was executed in Clayton, New Mexico Territory in 1901. He was the only example of execution for robbing trains in the New Mexico Territory, and his execution was brutal. The rope was made too long, and when he was hanged, he was decapitated. The photograph of the lynching of John Hythe in Tombstone, Arizona, was banned due to its graphic representation of extrajudicial violence and racial tensions prevalent in the late 18th century. Capturing a moment of mob justice, the image challenged the legal and moral frameworks of the time, provoking discomfort among authorities who sought to uphold an image of law and order. The ban aimed to suppress public discourse around lynching, which was often justified by racial and societal prejudices, as well as to distance communities from the brutality associated with such acts. The photograph of Pearl Hart, known as the Lady Bandit, was banned due to its challenge to contemporary gender norms and the romanticization of her criminal exploits. As a woman who became infamous for robbing a stagecoach, Hart's story defied societal expectations of femininity and morality. Authorities feared that celebrating her image could inspire other women to break societal constraints and emulate her actions.